Ramadan doesn't come to exhaust you. It comes to elevate you. But most of us enter it without truly understanding what Allah is building within us. Every year we promise ourselves this one will be different, and we mean it. We begin strong. The Quran feels lighter. Salah feels more present. Our hearts feel open, and then, slowly, the rhythm fades, distractions return. By Eid, we're grateful, but quietly unsure of what truly changed inside us. It's not because we're weak. It's because many of us were never taught what Ramadan is actually training us for. I had to learn this myself. Fasting is not the destination. It's preparation. If you miss what it's shaping within you, you can complete all 30 days and still walk away feeling like something was unfinished. Before Ramadan 2026 arrives, there is one foundational understanding that changes how you experience every fast. Every prayer, every moment of restraint. Once you see it clearly, you won't just do Ramadan differently. You'll understand why. Allah gave it to you in the first place. The first days of Ramadan always feel powerful. You set your goals. You promise yourself this year you'll read the Quran with focus. Not just speed, you're more careful with your words. You lower your gaze intentionally, even your du'as feel deeper. And then, slowly, the shift begins. Sleep changes, energy dips. Recitation becomes something you rush to complete. You tell yourself you'll fix the routine tomorrow. Not because you don't care, but because most of us treat Ramadan like a temporary spiritual boost, instead of understanding what it's actually training us for. We think it's about doing more prayers, more pages, more charity. But what if it was never about quantity first? What if Ramadan was meant to develop a quality within you? One that remains long after the month ends? And if that quality is built correctly, even your smallest actions after Ramadan could carry more weight than your most intense nights during it. So the real question isn't how much you'll do in Ramadan 2026. The real question is, what will Ramadan build inside you? Allah already told us why Ramadan was prescribed. It wasn't left unclear. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says fasting was made obligatory so that you may attain taqwa. And most of us have heard that word our entire lives, taqwa. We translate it quickly. God consciousness, and move on. But pause. If taqwa is the entire purpose of Ramadan, and Ramadan comes only once a year, and what follows the year depends on what you built during it, shouldn't we understand this word more deeply than we do? Because taqwa isn't just a feeling. It's not just fear, and it's not being religious for 30 days. It's a state that reshapes your private self. It changes how you think when no one is watching, how you respond when you're angry, what you choose when temptation is easy. Ramadan doesn't just restrict your food, it trains your awareness. Every time you refuse water while you're thirsty, even though no human would know if you drank, you are strengthening an inner conviction. Allah sees me. And if that awareness becomes strong enough, it doesn't disappear after Eid. That is what makes a Ramadan transformative, not intense. So what does taqwa actually look like in real life? It's not a feeling you wait for. It's not a Ramadan mood. It's awareness that follows you into ordinary moments. It's the pause before you respond. Choosing silence over a hurtful word, even when you're justified. Lowering your gaze when no one would question you. Closing an app when you know it's pulling you somewhere you shouldn't stay. Ramadan trains this quietly. When you're irritated but control your tongue, that's taqwa growing. When you wake for suhoor with the awareness that Allah sees your effort, that's taqwa forming. And here's the shift. If Ramadan 2026 becomes about building this awareness instead of just completing rituals, then every fast carries intention. Every prayer carries presence. Every small decision becomes a moment of accountability. Ramadan stops being something you survive. It becomes something that reshapes who you are when no one is watching. Now imagine entering Ramadan 2026 with this clarity. Not asking how many pages you'll finish, but asking one question each day. Is this increasing my awareness of Allah? That question changes everything. Your recitation slows down. Your salah carries presence. Your fasting stops being physical restraint and becomes heart training. When taqwa becomes the goal, you stop measuring Ramadan by exhaustion and start measuring it by awareness. You notice small shifts. You react differently. You walk away from doubtful things with quiet strength. And when Ramadan ends, that awareness doesn't disappear, because you weren't building a Ramadan version of yourself. You were building a self that remains after it. That is when Ramadan becomes transformative, not because it was intense, but because it was internal. And what is built internally is what survives externally. Ramadan 2026 will arrive whether you prepare for it or not. The days will pass. The nights will come. The fast will begin. But the difference won't be in the calendar. It will be in what you choose to build within yourself. If you enter chasing numbers, you may finish with numbers. But if you enter seeking taqwa, seeking that steady awareness that Allah sees you, guides you, and is near, then even your smallest actions will carry weight. Ramadan was never meant to be a temporary spiritual high. It was meant to strengthen your heart for the months that follow. So when it begins, don't just ask how much you will do. Ask who you are becoming. Because if awareness increases, even quietly, then Ramadan hasn't just passed through your life. It has reshaped it.